You know, call me crazy, but this whole entire concept and layout for this movie, it sounds like something that Osimo the Robot pitched out to Netflix. I mean, could you imagine how that meeting must have gone?
Adam Sandler is like in love with some girl, but then it turns out that the girl is actually a golden retriever or something.
Spaceman is the newest Netflix exclusive thriller directed by Swedish filmmaker Johan Renck, and it stars Adam Sandler, Carey Mulligan, and the voice of Paul Dano. I'll get to him and why he's only voicing his part. So Adam Sandler's character was raised by his grandparents in the countryside after being abandoned as a young boy. He spends his life working as a scientist before trying to become the Czech Republic's first astronaut. But when he's sent out on his mission, he basically kind of realizes that he's abandoning his family, the love of his life especially. She's played here by Carey Mulligan. And when this really strange creature confronts him to basically discuss his demons, that's where the movie gets really juicy. And I think that's about as vague as I can be without giving anything away. I mean, I can tell you what this creature is. Paul Dano basically voices Aragog the Spider from Chamber of Secrets. I can't believe I'm saying this. You know, Paul Dano is a brilliant actor, as he's proven over the past couple of years. And the projects that he's been picking lately, the Batman, the Fabelmans, Dumb Money, like, when you have Paul Dano's involvement, that really tells you a lot about a movie and what he thinks of the material. And in my opinion, I feel like Paul Dano and his performance and his character, that was the most interesting part of this movie for me. It's just a super creepy, haunting, monotone delivery that he's giving here. And the scenes that he shares with Adam Sandler, because that is the crux of this movie, is Adam Sandler talking to the spider. There's some pretty compelling dialogue in there. And listen, say what you want about Adam Sandler. Say what you want about how he just kind of phones it in for the majority of his projects. Say what you want about him not being funny, because that's honestly not really a hard one to disagree with. But as he's shown you in projects like Punch Drunk Love, Uncut Gems, when he wants to really go full throttle into the dramatic category, he can do it, man. And I gotta tell you, his performance in this movie was definitely very solid given the material that he has. Carey Mulligan is great, as she usually is, with her limited screen time. And technically speaking, in terms of the direction and even the visual effects and how the spider itself actually looks, there's nothing technically wrong with this movie, except for one thing, the story. Even though I mentioned that there is some compelling dialogue between Sandler and Dano going on, it's nothing really that you haven't seen before in other science fiction thrillers. And because of that, there's nothing really overly fascinating about Spaceman. I mentioned that Adam Sandler does his best with the material that he's given. This character, man, aside from the fact that he wants to basically be a groundbreaking achiever, and how he's sacrificing a lot to accomplish his dreams, there's really nothing else to this character. We don't really learn about what his hobbies are. We don't know what his party quirks are. I wouldn't even go as far as to say this guy's likable in a sense. So I can't fully say that aside from Paul Dano and his spider performance, I couldn't really get emotionally invested in this movie for whatever reason. Because there are some points that are meant to be tearjerker moments in there. But at the same time, with how this is laid out and Adam Sandler's character's backstory, doesn't it just make you think of Interstellar? And let me ask you this question. Even with Paul Dano's monotone performance and his whole entire presence in this movie, I just couldn't help but think of Hell from 2001. Yes, that 2001, one of the most influential movies of all time. Not just in the science fiction genre, but of all time. So when you sit here and watch Spaceman, and you think of those couple of elements, don't you wish you were watching one of those other two movies? Because like I said, even though there's nothing that's technically wrong with the movie, it is definitely a very solidly made film. It's definitely technically sound. I just could not help but shake the 2001 and Interstellar comparisons. So unfortunately, even though Spaceman has a lot of effort being put into it, clearly, an ironic statement considering that Adam Sandler stars in this thing, it's not one of the most fascinating Netflix releases you're ever going to get, because it's definitely going to be making you want to revisit some of the more classic science fiction movies of the past 60 years. And it's going to remind you of that, and it's going to make you wish you rewatched one of those instead. I'm going to give Spaceman a C+. Extra bonus points for how haunting Paul Dano's performance was and for the effort Adam Sandler was putting into it. But let me know what you think of Spaceman down in the comments. Let me know what your favorite science fiction thriller of all time is. I understand that that's a very loaded question because there's a lot that you can pick from. But that's what I love to do, guys. Not just make these videos and talk to you guys, but I love listening to your opinions and your insight on movies. And if you're looking to join a community of geeks, film lovers, and entertainment lovers alike, where all we do is discuss all things entertainment, you've come to the right place. So do consider subscribing today and tap on that thumbs up. That would be a huge help. And stay tuned for more videos hitting this channel very soon. Looking forward to wrapping up my Kung Fu Panda playlist with Kung Fu Panda 4. And I also put out my review for the best movie of 2024 so far, which isn't really saying much, in Dune Part 2, so definitely check that out if you haven't yet. God damn, I've already seen that movie twice in theaters, and I want to go back a third time. Damn, what a great movie. But guys, y'all are the best. Thank you again for your support. And with all that being said, Back Talk, commence.